Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to be doing something a little different in this video, probably the next couple of videos. And that is going to be talking about all of the mistakes that I have made as a indie author. That's fun, right? So this is not going to be any type of like tip video. There's so many people out there that do videos on tips on the proper way of writing and publishing and all of that, which I probably should have been watching when I first decided to publish my debut novel, Power. I should have thought about that, but I didn't. And I'm gonna just pull something up while I'm talking to you guys. But yeah, so it's not gonna be that. There's no vlog today, nothing like that. Instead, I want to kind of talk about the mistakes that I have made in my author journey, my author career. Let me see. I meant to pull this up before I turned the camera on, but I did not. So let's do that now. Okay, so I found what I was looking for, or more like I didn't find what I'm looking for. Let me try this another way. There it is. Okay, so one of the major mistakes that I made with my author career is choosing the correct book title. That's what today's video is going to be about. It's going to be about choosing the correct book title. So, my series, my urban fantasy series, is The Five Sisters. It is about five African American sisters who make a discovery that they are witches, and they have to kind of navigate this new world that they are in. They have no guidance, so they're doing all of this on their own. That's pretty much like a condensed description of what the series is. So the very first book is titled Power, and I released that book October of 2014. It was supposed to come out October 5th on my grandmother's birthday, but new to publishing and all of that, it ended up releasing on October 1st. So I chose the name Power mainly because the first book features the sisters discovering their power. I thought it was a pretty good name. And so I chose it, I stuck with it, and we went with it. And I put it out. As far as the title, The Five Sisters, honestly, at the time, I really could not think of another title to name the series. And so The Five Sisters it was because it features five sisters. Looking back on that, what have I learned since publishing that book over 10 years ago? What have I learned? So, first off, the title of the series, The Five Sisters, I have no problems with that title. I don't know if it bothers anybody else, if people feel like it doesn't give them enough information. I should probably ask people, but so far the people that I've talked to about the title, they don't really have a problem with the series title, The Five Sisters. So that I don't have an issue with. Actually, I was looking up some stuff, and so let me look that up real quick. So it made me look it up because I did try to remember something before. One of the things that they try to tell you, or at least I've heard some advice on it with picking a title for your book or even the title for your series is when you choose that to try to pick something that is not used, especially not something used by popular works. So, for example, not picking something like Twilight because that book is so popular that if people type in Twilight, if you tell them, yeah, my book's called Twilight or something, if they type that in, they're most likely going to get the vampire series, the Twilight Saga. That's probably what they're going to get. So for me, as I'm pulling up the series titled The Five Sisters, the first book that comes up, now my book is called The Five Sisters. Let's clarify that. But the first thing that comes up is a book that was published in 2020. It looks like a children book titled Five Sisters. That is the very first book that comes up. There is also another book called The Five Sisters, released in 97. Yeah, it looks like different covers for that one. But the third option that comes up is Power, book one for the Five Sisters. That is the first thing that comes up. As I scroll through, I see Control on here, and I see Revealed. So it does show up on the main page. That's great. It's not unsearchable. If I type in the Five Sisters Power, the very first book that pops up is my book, Power. That is the first book. The second book is Revealed, Control, and then there's other things. There's Sister Power that comes up, the Five Sisters, Sister Powers number one, which looks like it's probably looks like it is a comic book. But yeah, so first book that comes up when I type in the Five Sisters Power is my book. However, my book is not titled The Five Sisters Power. It is titled Power. And it is book one in the Five Sisters. So if I tell someone, and I've had this problem a lot because I'll ask people who be like, "Oh, you wrote a book? I want to look it up." And I always have to tell them, mainly because I've done this search before on Amazon. I always have to tell them, look it up by my name. Type in my name. Because if you type in my name, obviously you're going to get anything featuring Taquanda Taylor. So that's what I always say. Look it up by my name. And that is because, and I'm not going to do any screenshots for you guys. Maybe, yeah, no, I'm not going to do, that's a whole lot of work on my phone. But mainly if you type in Power under the books tab on Amazon, it's not my book. Number one is not my book. Number two is not my book. 3, 4, 5. My book is nowhere on this first page, you guys. Nowhere on this first page. So, yeah, if anybody types in Power, they are not going to find my book. It is a small book. It is a book that does not have a whole lot of reviews. So it's probably not going to pop up first on any page anyways, because it's not purchased a whole lot. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, so it probably wouldn't show up anyways when you pull it up. However, if I type it in under other names, I will be able to see it. So it is searchable. It's just not searchable with that title. Had I thought about this a long time ago, I probably would have titled it The Five Sisters Power. There, if I would have thought about this, because if you guys have been watching my videos, then you know how I refer to my books. I always refer to them as TFS1 or TFS2. Even with talks of releasing my fourth book in the series, Forced, I refer to it as The Five Sisters Forced. I feel like that has more of a ring to it. You guys let me know if it sounds crazy to include the series title in the book title for each book. Does that sound absolutely crazy, or do you think it should just remain Power and it's not being seen because of my marketing? I don't think that that's the case. I mean, not necessarily that if my book is not being seen because I have terrible marketing, because I do. That's going to be for a whole nother video, or in fact, I've talked about that multiple times. So it's not even like it's a surprise. But it is interesting that if somebody does ask me for my information or something, if I tell them, I can easily just say The Five Sisters Power. Or even if I create something for people to look it up, I can put The Five Sisters Power and they'll be able to look it up and find it. If I tell people just Power, they're not going to find it. They literally have to search for my name to be able to find it if they're not put using the title. So that's just one of the things. I'm going to check Revealed real quick. I know this video does not seem organized. That's because it isn't. None of my videos ever are organized. So that's that. Yeah. So even Revealed, there is a ton of books. Obviously, they're not necessarily coming up by how many reviews there have, because there is a book that has 440 reviews titled Revealed, and then there's a book underneath it that has 8,000 reviews. So it's not on the amount of reviews that it has, but there are definitely other books that are popping up under that title. And as I go through this page, there's a lot of books titled Revealed. And once again, on this page, my book is not there. But let's see, if I type in The Five Sisters Revealed, there it is. Very first book is mine. And then obviously all of those other books that said The Five Sisters on it. So yeah, I think one of the main mistakes that I made when I started this, I'm just typing up control because now I'm just like on a roll just to see what happens. And if you guess that my book is not here, then you guessed correctly. My book is not here. Not on the first page. It is not there at all. So if you guessed that, you would be correct. Yeah, so I think one of the mistakes that I made when I started my career is that I did not plan properly as far as the book title goes. I feel like I did not think this through. I just kind of thought of a title and decided to go with it. And that's all fine and dandy. However, if my book can't be searched, if I tell somebody the title or if I post it on social media with the title, if my book can't be searched, how are people finding it and how are they going to read it? Again, Forest. I'm even pulling that up, and there is so many books titled Forest, and my little book, The Five Sisters Forest, is nowhere on the first page, you guys. So yeah, that is a problem, and I that is a problem that I want to correct because I think titling the books, and always tripping over my words. I think titling the books "The Five Sisters" and then the word that on the cover is the big word, because if you looked at any of my covers, actually I have one right here. So if you look at any of my covers, obviously we have one word as the big word. I like that. I prefer that. I don't want the entire thing to be the big word. The Five Sisters is in the lower font, not lower font, but yeah, the lower font. And it says book one on it. But power is the main focus. I think that that is fine to continue, but I'm thinking of potentially renaming my books because I feel like that is a mistake that I made in my author career is not thinking about the names properly. So you guys let me know what you think. Yeah, you guys let me know what you think. Am I thinking too much into this as far as the name goes? Do you guys like the one word name for each book, or do you guys think The Five Sisters Power or The Five Sisters whatever has a better ring to it? Because I kind of think it does. Let me know in the comment section below. That is all I have for you guys today. If you are still thinking of titles for your book, be sure to do your research before you just select that title. Make sure that if somebody types your title in to any searches, whether it's Google or Amazon, that they will be able to find it without any problems. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. And if you want to continue to follow along with my journey to becoming a full-time writer, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And if you made it this far in the video and you liked what you saw, give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. And I wonder what other mistakes I've made that we could talk about because there's lots. Bye.